Hello, my name is Ron Nachum, and I'm presenting a system for markerless head pose estimation with cameras as an alternative to the current measurement standard of cervical range of motion goniometers. This was a joint work with Kyle Jackson, V. Fan, Cecily DeStefano, Zoran Duric, and Lynn Gerber. We focused on cervical range of motion, a patient's maximum range of neck movement, due to its use in a variety of medical fields, such as injury assessment and rehabilitation processes including physical therapy. Being able to accurately and precisely measure cervical range of motion provides insights into previous injury history of patients and if their condition is deteriorating or improving. Beyond just measuring a patient's cervical range of motion, it is also essential to be able to observe their quality of movement, including noting compensatory movements that subjects might make to hide pain or difficulty. The current standard of measurement, CROM goniometers, are cumbersome helmets which require calibration for proper function. Furthermore, these expensive goniometers provide little insightful data, as they only measure movement on a single plane. In this presentation, we propose an alternative system utilizing RGB depth or standard RGB cameras for video capture to be processed using markerless face pose estimation. We utilize the OpenFace library, which employs convolutional neural networks for face detection, along with conditional local neural fields, point distribution models, and patch experts for facial landmark detection. This system provides key benefits over the current standard of CROM goniometers, as it allows for subjects to have unencumbered movement since they are not wearing anything on their head, and thus providing more accurate information. Furthermore, facial landmarks can be used for head pose estimation in 3D and to calculate rotation angles on all three axes. These are example videos of a subject with a fairly normal range of motion, with the blue cube signifying the location of his face and the points depicting facial landmarks that are being tracked and recorded for further analysis. These are example videos of a subject with abnormal range of motion, as it can be seen that the subject tilts and lowers his head as he rotates, with these effects worsening as he reaches the peak of his rotation. Using our pipeline, the process to capture and analyze videos like these is very simple, requiring only a few button presses to capture this video, obtain raw results, and observe figures which highlight important aspects of movement. This 3D plot contains a visual representation of the 3D location of our normal subject in blue and abnormal subject in red. The vectors indicate the direction a patient is facing, while their magnitude is directly correlated with the velocity of their movement. It can be observed that the abnormal, or red subject, greatly deviates from their plane of movement, with their head lowering significantly into the negative z values. Furthermore, it can be observed that the abnormal patient had very high values of roll, meaning they were tilting their head excessively during movement, potentially due to pain felt during the motion. The abnormal subject's high levels of roll are further showcased by this graph, which plots rotation angles on each axis relative to neutral position over time. This also clearly shows the normal subject to have a greater rotational, or yaw range of motion than the abnormal one. The system provides significantly more information than CROM goniometers by virtue of its continuous measuring, which allows for detailed plots such as these, and the observation of off-planar movements, such as the abnormal subject's excessive tilting. It is imperative that the system not only provide more information than CROM goniometers, but also be able to provide precise and accurate results comparable to those of these devices. Looking here at data collected for two of the subjects during our study, the motion capture system demonstrates the ability to achieve results very similar to those of CROM goniometers. Preliminary results suggest that markerless head capture with cameras is a promising alternative to CROM goniometers, but further validation is needed. The next steps for research are a larger study to confirm that motion capture is accurate enough to be considered equal to CROM goniometers. A way to increase accuracy would be to utilize depth data of subjects to compensate for when facial tracking is lost, and would be particularly valuable for observing pitch, or flexion and extension. Further additions to the application pipeline could then be made, such as incorporating pose estimation for observing shoulder or other upper body compensatory movements, as well as classifying patients as normal or abnormal immediately after their videos are analyzed, potentially through observation of velocity and acceleration patterns of patients. Thank you to the organizing committee for the opportunity to present our work, and thank you for listening.